This talks about your different mixtures that you're storing. A lot of times your dried powders that you're going to use to turn them into uh, various different dairy products such as milk, cheese, or butter, or even like hot chocolate or Kool-Aid or stuff like that. A lot of that stuff you're just going to mix it with water. It's kind of just shows a bit about a couple of different methods that you could use. It's going to be a very short video, but we're going to talk about how to turn those powders into something that you would actually want to drink or eat or use for other food preparation. With the mixing demonstration here, these are things that can be done with almost a number of different types of mixes, but I'm going to demonstrate with peanut butter. This is more of a rich type mixture that we're going to make, therefore this is empty. We can also mix with many different implements. This is all room temperature water. We have milk that's more of a bland mixture, lean mixture, and then we have chocolate, which is hot cold chocolate mix. This is just room temperature water, but we'll be using that as well. So whenever I make something, if it's a mix, and we're going to make it, like right now I'm going to make some peanut butter, and whenever I make this stuff, if I'm making it as a rich mixture, which means that it's always a comparison between the two different ingredients, comparatively I'm going to have more peanut butter powder in here than water, therefore it's a rich mixture. Therefore I'm going to put the peanut butter in here first, peanut butter powder in here first, and then, because what I'm trying to demonstrate on here is how to make this with very little water waste. So then I'm going to take my water and I'm going to just moisten it. I'm going to put some in there, and then I'm going to stir that up. Now, if it becomes more than what I want, if I got too much water in there, I can add more peanut butter powder. But if I didn't get enough water in there, I can add more water. And that's basically what I'm going to try to do on here. Sometimes you wish you had 4 arms, right? And that's just to make sure that you don't ever have to waste water. Because if you're in an emergency situation, there's a very good chance. There we go. There's a very good chance that see if I can get that braced. Maybe I can get a second hand in now. But we'll just mix this up until finally we get all that powder in, and it will become a peanut butter substance that you can actually use. Oh, I got it balanced. Good. So I'm going to mix this stuff on up, and as it gets super dry, as we can see here, I'm just going to add just a touch of water to it to try to get that water right what I want it to be. And I'm just going to continue that until finally it's the right consistency of what I want. I usually like my peanut butter to be very thick, and therefore I want a super rich mixture to where it's just barely past the powder. So that's basically what I'm going to do, is I'm going to moisten this powder, and this is going to become a very rich peanut butter. And that will become a delicious sandwich for some other lunch. But you can see this is now peanut butter from powder. Now, as for the milk situation, it's a bland mixture. Therefore, we can see there's a little bit of water already in here. I'm going to start with some water, and I'm basically going to try and turn that water into milk. Now, one of the things I love about powdered milk is that I am able to mix that in whatever mixture that I want to. I usually like my milk, unless I'm baking with it and following a recipe that requires it to be rich, then I will generally want it to be very bland. So I save a lot of money on powdered milk, because what they say makes 2 gallons, the way I do it usually makes more like 5 gallons. And you can see that is already, I mean, you still kind of got, it's bland in there, but it's still, that's milk. It's bland, but it's got the milk. That'll be a good bowl of cereal here in another few minutes. I'm going to dump some cereal in there, probably Raisin Bran, and probably a little bit richer than I normally do. If I wanted to blend that out, I would just add some extra water to it and mix it in again. But if I was going to try and make this for a baking recipe, I would do it the same way that I did my peanut butter powder, in the sense that I would have probably started with the powder and just moistened it until finally it became a good milk. And then I would use it for baking. Now, what I'm going to do now is take my, we are now going to turn this guy into a cup of chocolate. So let's see how this works. This is once again a kind of a bland mixture, a lean mixture, not too bland. I mean, I do like more chocolate than I usually recommend, but I'm not trying to make chocolate sauce. If I was going to try and make chocolate sauce, I would take my chocolate and I would just add water into this until finally it became moist, if I was trying to make like a pudding or something like that. But in my case, I'm not trying to make pudding. I'm actually just trying to mix this up so that way, and forks are my favorite way to mix, because you really get a lot of mixing power in there. And now I can blend all of this together in here. And I'm going to mix that until it is very nicely darkened, until I have a very rich mixture of this chocolate in there, because I like very rich chocolate, and that's one of the things that I love. I don't make it by the rules on the package. I usually do double the chocolate in there. I really like my hot chocolate to be super rich. And I mean, if you mix it and it's too rich, you can always add more water to it later on. That's always an option. So let me get this on out. And then I will mix this guy up until finally I can see that it is a, really good chocolate mix. But that's how you do it here. You figure out here, do you want it rich? Do you want it lean? You might start with the powder. You might start with the liquid. Just get it, mix it. And yeah, I'm going to add more to that, but I don't think we really need to get into all this. We understand the point of mixtures. There's powders, you add milk, you add water to them, add whatever else it tells you to, and this is the efficient way to make sure you don't waste a drop of water with this. Start with the substance there. If you make it too potent and you just can't fix it, if you need, then you just add more of the other thing. If there's not enough room in the container, you're going to take part of what's in that container and add it to a different container, a different empty container, and make the mix right on each side that way. So there's ways to do this with like no waste at all, and that's what we want to do if we're doing survival cooking, because the little bit of food that you have to eat is what you have, and after that you don't know what you're doing, so you don't want to waste it. Thank you for watching.